Thank you, Rick, and we're ready to go racing. NASCAR Winston Racing Series EC Car Audio 96. Outside of him in the Smith Auto Service, High Point TV and Appliance, Shop and Save 40 Henry. In the third row, it's Rick Boyer. Outside of him, Chuck Kennedy in the 24. The Iceman, Tim Ice in the 65. And the Martinelli Service 63, the number now. Back in action with us, Bob Sibla from Massillon, Ohio. And then the 38 of Michigan's Jerry the Bear McCarra, the winner of the last 50-lap feature event we had here at Motordrome. The green's out, and we're racing. Into turns 1 and 2, it's Smith and Reno on the point, and a 77 Hodge transmission, Lumina Money car, Bobby Hit trying to make right. Look at Danny White. He dives to the low side, momentarily 3 wide. Oh, watch it through 3 and 4. Soft shoeing it are some of the competitors as Marion Reno hangs on for life. Down the front straightaway, Bob Smith continues in the lead. Danny White tucks in right behind him under the Hodge transmission. 77 of Bobby Henry down the back straightaway. Here comes White, the champion market. Ford Thunderbird 22 trying to make a move. Cannot make it. We have a lot of jostling out there. Here comes the Train Racing Enterprise 38 of Jerry the Bear McCarra. He moves up around Tim Ice, and the Bear is on the move. Pinckney, Michigan's Jerry McCarra is on the move. Up the 5th place position. Sets to the outside to go around Rick Boyer. McCarra, the man on the move, getting by Tim Ice, has moved up to the 5th place position. Look at this battle for the lead on the front straight. And Danny White dives down. Oh my goodness, up high goes Smith. It's a coagulation of automobiles out of turn 2. And on the back straight, Smith goes from 1st to 4th in just a quarter of a lap. Picking up the lead and holding on to those honors is the 23 of Danny White. He finds the KFC Mott's Fruit Juice, Butler's Apartment, Vailtech 30 of the Flying Coal Miner, Rick Boyer behind him in 2nd. Jerry McCarra haunting the back bumper. The 30 Boyer now sets up to the outside. Meanwhile, Ice contends to the low line of the 44 machine of Bob Smith. Into 1 and 2. The racing mufflers fill and collect up with fuel and backfire, shooting flames 3 and 4 feet into the night as we continue racing into turns 3 and 4. On the outside goes McCarra looking for racing room in that Port City Camaro body Dream racing engine powered machine. Into 1 and 2. It continues to be White hanging on to that groove. Time is running out. 6 laps down, 4 remaining for both Boyer and McCarra. McCarra tries it high once again on Boyer, but Boyer has that low line hooked and once again defends his territory and holds on to the bridesmaid position. We work into turns 1 and 2. Danny White on that low line. Jerry McCarra now getting the nose of that car to the passenger door side of the Mott's Fruit Juice KFC number 30. And McCarra commits to the outside in a torrid battle for the bridesmaid position. Jerry McCarra comes up with spot number 2. In the turns 1 and 2, only 2 laps remaining. Danny White out of Champion, Pennsylvania, holding on to the point position. It's Ford versus Chevy. Danny White's Ford Thunderbird holding off the Chevy-powered 38 machine of Jerry McCarra, the white flag, 1 lap remaining. They dive into turns 1 and 2. McCarra sets up high. White moves into that position. McCarra trying to make a mid Ford Thunderbird. Oh, closing the door is Danny White. Oh, no! McCarra trying the outside on Danny White, ran out of racing room. The car doing a slow, lazy spin down the back straight and then making significant contact with the inside retaining wall, lifting up in the air, 4 to 5 feet up in the air at a 45-degree angle, coming back down on the wall. And Joe Rolick's right over there. Joe, what's going on?
Mike, Jerry's moving in the car. He's got his helmet off now. He looks to be okay. Lifted off the ground.
You saw the whole underside of that car from the front straight stands. You really don't realize how fast these automobiles are going till they loop it like that. Right in the middle of the straightaway, I'd say about 105 from the top, but under that automobile, they've sustained heavy damage to a very quick racing machine, and it's extremely disappointing situation for the gentleman who flies down here from Pinckney, Michigan to compete with us. It's, to be quite honest with you, it's a real plus for us to have someone come in of the likes of a McCarra from Michigan to come all the way into Western Pennsylvania to run with the racing. 8 laps down, 2 remaining. Here we go. It's up to Danny White. Rick Boyer behind him. Tim Ice has found his way up to 3rd. And Bob Sibble in that new ride. The Martinelli Service 63 is 4th. Here we go. Green sign and we're racing. into turns 1 and 2. White holds on in the point position, and the 30 of Boyer right there trying to make a move on him. Meanwhile, Ice continues to hold right on to third. Ice dives to the low side on Boyer. They get together. Boyer a little squirrely. White flag, 1 lap to go. Out of turn 2, Danny White is stretching out by 2 car lengths over the 30 of Boyer and the 65 of Ice. Bob Sibble holding on to 4. Chuck Kennedy moves up to the 5th place position. A snake train, serpentine of color down the front straightaway to take the checker. Danny White followed by Rick Boyer, Tim Ice, Bob Sibble, and Chuck Kennedy. Your top 5 automobiles. Danny White out of Champion, Pennsylvania, the 23, some 2 inches. It is Chuck Kessler from White, Pennsylvania. Inside, second row, the Cobra. Energy Resources, Marina 1, Giant Eagle 36 is Bell Vernon, Pennsylvania's Tom Leaf Erickson. Outside of him in Stoytown Auto Wreckers, Bob's Mini Mart 75 is Jenner's, Pennsylvania's Barry Audi. Inside, in the third row, 2 hot competitors here so far this season. The Jim Dolan Chevrolet Camaro-bodied machine. The 19 of Rick Miller from Connellsville. Outside of him, the American Title and Trust 32 of Hubbard, Ohio's Glenn Galt, the Double G. Fourth row, inside, it's the Snooker, Snooky Williams. Out of Latrobe in a 6, outside of him, Charging Charlie Cragen. And the Twin County Chevy dealers, 42. The 03 from New Philadelphia, Ohio, that is Lonnie Vaughn in a Chrysler product machine. Here we go, green comes out, we're up to speed and racing. And it turns 1 and 2, trying to make the early move. Gold on the outside. Oh, Kessler way up high, squirrely. Here comes Gary Gelner, and Gelner dives through for the lead. Barry Audi trying to work the outside. Look at Miller move on the outside of the racing surface. Out of turn 4, scuffling for the lead position. Gary Gelner holds on to it. Barry Audi hangs right into second place. Up high is Kessler's automobile. Glenn Galt, meanwhile, has the inside working to his advantage. In that Buick Regal body, Port City chassis machine, and a drain-powered automobile moves up to the 3rd place position. He's bringing that A1 engineering chassis Camaro body. Now Hewitt-powered machine right up to 4th place position of Rick Miller's. Down the back straightaway, it's all Gelner holding on to that point position. Barry Audi looks to try to make some racing move around him. And now, look at this, squeezing to the low side is Audi. Dirt checks the automobile, cannot make the move. And opens up the high side for Glenn Galt. Galt works to the high side on Audi, who was squirrely out of turn 4. Galt commits to that outside line. We are fender to fender, wheel to wheel, lug nut to lug nut. And the Hubbard, Ohio pilot in the orange Boston Special trying to break through for a second. We're still fender to fender in a battle for the bridesmaid position. On the front straightaway, Galt on the move, working to the outside. Trying to make that move around Audi. Conversely, goes right up to Gelner. Gelner dirt tracks the car, and it leaves it wide open for Glenn Galt. Galt trying to move into the lead. Gelner hangs on the low side. Galt drifts up high a bit, but he's got the line down the front straightaway and moves into the point position. Here comes Rick Miller. Miller works the outside of Gary Gelner's automobile, and Rick Miller trying to make a move for the battle for a second on the back straightaway. And the Connellsville, Pennsylvania pilot takes the Jim Dolan Chevrolet 19 into the 2nd place position. We work into turns 1 and 2. 6 laps down, 4 remaining. And the 19 of Rick Miller begins to close the gap on Glenn Galt. Miller now looking for racing room on Galt. They work out of turn 4 down the front straightaway. 7 laps down, 3 remaining. Gary Gelner's drifted back to 4th. Barry Audi hangs on to 3rd. Charging Charlie Cragen from the back of the pack. Now finally gets around to 91. No, he doesn't. Kessler hangs tough on the low side as the Casa Fire Equipment Scanlon Clinic automobile of Cragen continues launched deep into this field. 8 laps down, 2 remaining. Here comes Miller. He tries the outside of Galt. Galt denies him the opportunity. Rick Miller not able to make that outside line commitment quite yet. Still hanging on to the 2nd place spot. This time around, the white flag, 1 lap remaining. Back in the pack, Charlie Cragen still trying to make that move around the Midway Parts and Service 91 of Chuck Kessler. They battle out of turn 2, but on the back straight, diving into turn 3, it's Glenn Galt in the American Title Trust 32. Buick body Port City chassis automobile. Out of turn 4, they pick up the checker from starter Ron Brutt. 2nd goes to Rick Miller, 3rd to Barry Audi, 4th to Gary Gelner. And rounding out the top 5 is the 42 of Charlie Cragen. 07 of Jeff Dunbar. This is his backup ride, the former Vince Randisi and Glenn Galt Port City chassis machine. Jeff Dunbar, of course, winning 34 features and a starting 68 Gib Pat. in the 70. 49, Denny Wingert, first time out for him, and the 9 of Charlie Myers as well. And as we get ready to go, and the 5 of Larry Bahena, we're up to speed and racing. Oh, Wiltrout has problems. Gary Wiltrout and a Lucas Machine Caddyshack 10, the former Barry Audi ride, slows down, and look at this battle for the lead up front. My goodness, a pack of automobiles, 5 cars strong, fighting for the lead. Castle comes up with the best of that shuffling of the deck on the point position. Second is Rapid Robert Arsenberger, the Arsenberger Trucking. Ford Thunderbird body, Port City Machine. Directly behind him is the Lumina Z34, VJ's Express 07 of Somerset, Pennsylvania's Jeff Dunbar. Dunbar looks to the low side on Arsenberger as Wiltrot brings his automobile in. A less than impressive performance, his first time ever out in a Pepsi Pro Stock in his rookie season. The white Pennsylvania driver limps the automobile into the pits. As we turn our attention to turns 3 and 4, Dunbar making the low side move on Arsenberger, exiting out of turn 4, and Dunbar takes over the bridesmaid spot. Kelly Shawless continues to hold on to a strong 4th place position, but watch the pizza WVSC 68 of Somerset, Pennsylvania's Bradley Cole. The Howell chassis machine is on the move. It dives to the low side of the 77 of Kelly Shawless, and Cole has that automobile hooked up and flying. He now takes over the 4th place position, sets his sights on the 26 of Bob Arsenberger. The JW Industries Precious Metals 68 of Bradley Cole on the move continues as he's throwing out the fishing wire, hooked the back bumper of Arsenberger's 26, and now finds himself close enough to Arsenberger's back bumper that he can look at Bob's rearview mirror and comb his hair. They work into turns 1 and 2. Bradley Cole still trying to make that bid for the 3rd place position. It's all Bob Koss on the point position. A distant second is Jeff Dunbar. The best battle on the track is for 3rd as the 49 Bristow Sales and Service Martis Ford machine of Denny Wingert out of Johnstown. That car heads into the infield. Here's this battle for 3rd as Bradley Cole tries to work the low side on Arsenberger. The black flag coming out for Charlie Myers. Myers has sparks coming out of that automobile, the Cloud 9. Midway Parts and Service machine. The driver out of Somerset will slow that car down and head to the infield as Bradley Cole, exiting out of turn 2, still haunts the back bumper of Arsenberger's automobile. As that battle's been going on, Jeff Dunbar is beginning to close in on your lead automobile. Bob Kossel, but time is running out, only 2 laps remaining. They work into turns 1 and 2. Dunbar looking for racing room, slides to the high side, cannot find it. Now tucks to the low line. Kossel having problems right there. Looks like he was trying to find Dunbar in his rearview mirror, but diving to the low side finds that Dunbar's popped to the other side. It could be interesting in his last lap. Bosma Kossel III, a very capable pilot in this division, as well as Dunbar, a rookie, but already one to contend with as he has a feature win under his belt in the 92 season. They're coming up on the lap. Automobile will operate. Watch this. It forces Kossel to the outside, but likewise to Dunbar as well. And Bob Kossel will take advantage of the lapped automobile to finish on a point position. Dunbar 2nd. Bob Arsenberger hangs on to 3rd over Bradley Cole. A distant 5th place position is Somerset, Pennsylvania's Kelly Shawless in the 77. So once again, it's a 50 of Bob Kossel, followed by a very close Jeff Dunbar, and then that opportunity during the evening to go behind our main grandstands and check out the Diet Pepsi Taste Challenge. That'll be going on all night. Also, the Diet Pepsi karaoke booth, where you can take your chance to sing the Diet Pepsi jingle. Winners will receive prizes, including a grand prize of the Somerset Mountain Resort, 7 Springs, Somerset Mountain Resort, weekend package for 2. Stoney's Light Street Stocks coming out onto the racing service for their first 10-lap qualifying event. Inside 2nd row in the Richard Petty lookalike, that's Mike Adams Jr., a rookie out of in the Stoney's Light Street Stock division. Here we go, the field tightens up, going for 10 laps. Let's see what Hay does with it, and Gary on the outside, greens out. We're up to speed and racing. And look at Jason Mignon wasting no time, moving up through this field to the point position, still holding on to the bridesmaid spot. And now he ducks down to the low side of Barry Gary, and Jason Mignon, the college student from Pitt University, wastes no time in wrestling to the point position. They're working to turns 1 and 2. Keep your eyes on the 25 of Ron Coral. He's been a capable pilot. Oh, Gary gets the car squarely, and then opens the door up for JOA Jr. as he moves into the second place spot in the former Tony Hirsch ride. Ducking down low to the inside, I said the 05, and I'm wrong on that. This is the 29 of Bob Rayleigh. I stand corrected. Bob Rayleigh, 29. Oh, hey, gets crossed up, hits the wall very slightly. We continue green flag racing. So Bob Rayleigh hangs on to the second place spot. His car primered as well as the 05. And we continue this battle for second into turns 1 and 2. Ron Coral holds on to it, looks to the low side of Rayleigh's automobile, the Ford product. They dive in down the back straightaway, and Ron Coral breaks over to the bridesmaid spot. He'll have quite a distance to try to make up on the 66 of Mignon. Back straightaway continues to be all Mignon. He's going to put a lap on Adams' automobile. He tucks to the low side, clean of traffic, and it's an easy move for Mignon as it's almost an eighth of a lap back to the second place machine of Ron Coral. A distant third is Bob Rayleigh in the 29, followed fourth is the 79 J.O.A. Jr. Smoke begins to pour out of the 21 of Tom Penzera, and he gets the black flag from starter Ron Brott. He'll have to go to the infield for consultation, obviously mechanical problems for that automobile. That will disqualify him from this qualifying heat, the first one for the Stoney's Light Street Stocks. It continues to be Jason Mignon. Look at that high line he rides out of turn 4, very close to the outside retaining wall. He's got things hooked up and flying. That familiar fishtail style of his, hanging that car out in what we call a loose condition. Loose is fast, and he continues holding onto the automobile that way, although it tends to wear out that right rear tire. He continues to drift up higher each lap. Now close to the outside retaining wall, takes the white flag. 1 lap remaining. Exiting out of turn 4, it's all Jason Mignon. He'll pick up the first qualifying event for the Stoney's Light Street Stocks. A distant second will go to Coral. Very distant third goes to Bob Rayleigh, his first time out this year at Motordrome. And fourth will be picked up by J.O.A. Jr. Rounding out the top 5 is the 82 of Barry Gary. Here's that ride with Larry Saylor each and every week in Western Pennsylvania. Outside of him, former Pure Stock competitor in the 55. That's Alan Angelico Jr., the wild man. Inside second row, Stoney's Light 57 of Marty Edwards. Outside of him, John Komarinsky in the 33 Rolling Rock Machine. 75 is Brian Audie. 72, Mike Heminger. The number 4 automobile is Jim Petrie. The 74, good to see Rick Jock back in competition. 05, James Danny Barron. And the number 10 is Bill Schneider. We get ready for the green. It's out. We're racing. Oh, look at this pile-up for the lead battle in turns 1 and 2. And the wild man, Alan Angelico, getting squarely right in the middle of the pack. Almost a sandwich job. We got a spin in turn 2. A spin by the 10 of Bill Schneider. Oh, look at this battle for the lead. Oh, Marty Edwards trying to be the meat between two pieces of bread out of turn 4, race fans. We're still 3 wide. The Stoney's Light Street Stocks putting on a show. And the opening laps of the second qualifying event. Little fender paint trading battle out there. And look at this. Dietrich in the 88 says, I'm opening the door. And oh my goodness, Komarinsky puts the nose in the Monte Carlo where it doesn't belong. It can't fit, so he backs off. Unbelievable racing in this division. Down the front straightaway. Into turns 1 and 2. The wild man, Alan Angelico, trying to work that outside groove. Brian Audie down there to the low side into Rose Lumber 75. Now Audie, a little door knocking, and he tries to go 3 wide. The wild man denies him. Oh, Angelico gets crossed up. Here comes Mike Heminger through on the low side. Many moves out there. Unbelievable racing. Into turns 1 and 2. Dietrich down into the dirt, gets the car loose off the actual racing surface. On the back straight, the Rose Lumber 75, Brian Audie trying to commit that outside line on Dietrich, dives into turn 3 and 4. Dietrich right there, holding on, fender to fender, lug nut to lug nut. Oh my goodness, air valve to air valve off the rim as they continue down the front straightaway. And now it looks like Audie has a handle on it. The 33 Komarinsky off the pace in turn 3. And look at this battle for the lead. Here comes Mike Heminger. Heminger making a move in the North Star Equipment 72. They're coming up on Schneider's automobile. It's a lapped automobile. 2 laps remaining. They're rolling by 33 at Komarinsky, trying to limp into the infield. Get off the racing surface. It continues to be Audi up high. Here comes Heminger. Rick Jock has now moved up to that 3rd place position. Sets his sights on the 72 of Heminger. Here they come around out of turn 4. This time around, race fans, there will be 6 laps down, 4 remaining. Look at this. Audi having the door knocking on him now by one Mike Heminger. Heminger out of Oswald, Pennsylvania, the 22-year-old pilot looking for racing room around Barry Audi's younger brother, Ryan Audi. Both of those drivers, former Pure Stock graduates, have adapted to the Stony's Light Street Stocks like fish going into water in the 92 season. As the veteran out there, Rick Jock, watches the action unfold in front of him as he continues the ride in 3rd place position. Jock and Vaughn's United Beverage, Busch Beer, B&T Trucking 74, still trying to make that move. Looks to the outside of the 72 of Heminger, 2 laps remaining. 3 cars hooked up, throw a blanket over him in a battle for this point position. They go down into turn 3. Jock tries the outside, cannot make the move, tucks in behind the back bumper. Heminger out of turn 4. This time around, everyone, the white flags unfold, 1 lap remaining. Into 1 and 2, the rows number 75 of Jenners, Pennsylvania's high flying Brian Audi continues holding that point position. A half a lap remaining. Heminger looking for racing room. Jock falls off by a car length and a half in 3rd. Now Jock begins to wind in on Heminger, but Heminger cannot take the advantage on Brian Audi. Audi holds on to pick up the checker. Heminger finishes 2nd. Jock 3rd, a distant 4th to Dietrich, and rounding out the top 5 is Marty Edwards. 22, Conrad Presnell in the 17, the 1 of Dave Brunell, the flying sign painter, and the 45 automobile. 2nd time out for Don Blank Sr. Lights are out, field tightens up, out of turn 4. It's up to Judy Shawless, here we go, she takes command of the, falls back as Jim Bickerstaff Jr. takes the lead. Here comes Dave Brunell into 3rd place position. Brunell, gets hooked in there, almost hooking bumpers with a 22 Robert Earl. That opens up the door for Nicola. Nicola moves the 32 up to the 3rd place position, sets his sights on the back bumper of the 77 of Judy Shawless. It continues to be Jim Bickerstaff Jr., the driver from Mineral Ridge, Ohio, the son of Jimmy Sr., who was a long-time campaigner throughout Midwest and Northeast United States in asphalt late model racing. Continues on the point position. The best battle on the track is for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. The roads in auto records 32 of George Nicola holding on to 3rd as Dave Brunell out of Greensburg and High-Tech Hobbies, Steve's Auto, number 1. Hunts the back bumper, Nicola's 32 for 3rd place position. Robin Rimmel in the 22 continues in 4th place, watching this 3rd place battle unfolding in front of him. Down the back straightaway, now the flying sign painter, Dave Brunell makes a move and he moves into the 3rd place position. He makes a run for it. Moving up to the back bumper, Judy Shawless, and my, oh my. Dave Brunell hip hugging the outside turn. Looks to the outside of Julie Shawless's automobile. Shawless stuck in and boxed in. It is Brunell saying, my goodness, am I going to be allowed to get beaten by a woman? Judy says, yes, sir. Hangs on to the low side. The Shawless screen printing 77. They continue fender to fender, wheel to wheel, lug nut to lug nut. Brunell trying to pull it off. Shawless hanging tough on the low side. She hasn't let him break daylight yet. Brunell hangs it up. Now he works to the outside, breaks some daylight between himself and Shawless. Moves into the 2nd place position. George Nicola would like to take his opportunity to see if he can get by Judy, but Judy hangs on to a comfortable 3rd. We go 8 laps in this event. 6 are down. 8 laps instead of the usual 10. Check out Ackerman's 91 down the front straight. I think they need to put some new springs in that automobile. Yes, they're riding like a sponge out there. The white flag, 1 lap remaining, and now Brunel begins to attack. He's on the move, dives to the low side, cannot make the move in this battle for the lead, race fans. Shawless up high, and Nicola gets through for third, but Dave Brunel trying to make a show of it for the point position. Closes up on Bickerstaff's 24, but time is running out. Bickerstaff drifts up a little bit. Here comes Brunel on the low side, but he'll come up short, and a very close second. Bickerstaff wins it. Dave Brunel second, third goes Nicola, fourth goes to Judy Shawless. And a very distant fifth, Robin Rimmel out of Champion, Pennsylvania, in the Ford LTD number 22. Coming in the 87, the big sprinting machine. Outside of him in the 71 is Mark Griffith from Somerset. 65, noted for the 65 Chevelle of Tim Stump from Greensburg. And outside of him, in the 75, rookie in this division, James Friedline, who I asked if you ever raced on pavement before. He said, not legally. Inside car, that should be David Fox. Haven't had a chance to talk to him. We'll get some information for you next week. And at 23 is Courtney Block. As we get the green, and we're up to speed and racing. Oh, look at this through the middle. My goodness. Sheeler in the 74. Moves through the Marcy's Hair Salon mobile, already up to second place. We're 3 wide on Dragovich in the middle, and Diamond Dave is spinning off colors as he finds the 28 of Sean B. Oh, Diamond Dave finds himself another 3 wide sandwich job, and he's beginning to feel like a piece of salami out there, race fans. Into turns 1 and 2, it continues to be Griffith on the point position. Sheeler hangs on to the second place spot. Sean the Bullet Beam and the Baron Trucking 28. Keep your eyes on that automobile. But look at Griffith, a rookie. He is really turning it on in this division, in this qualifying heat, as Rick Sheeler, man who knows his way around this racing surface. And the Marcy's Hair Salon 74 hangs on to second place spot. Work down the back straight. Rick Sheeler closes up to the back bumper. Griffith 71. Sean the Bullet Beam, the Somerset, Pennsylvania hot shoe, looks for his opportunity to close in on the first 2 automobiles. Meanwhile, Larry Lee Heminger is contending with the 65 of Tim Stutt in that battle for the 4th place position. Sheeler goes high, wide, handsome, not too handsome. He gets the car squarely, lights up that right rear tire, smokes it a bit. And those treaded street tires, you abuse them like that, you'll have to cool your effort down and allow those tires to cool down a bit so they don't melt and slide all over the place. He backs off temporarily from his charge on Griffith's automobile, and that gives the 28 of Sean Beam an opportunity to close up. We have a 3-car battle for the lead. Now Griffith goes up high. Here comes the Sheeler, but again smoking that right rear tire in an effort to try to place that car where it doesn't want to be, on the low side of this track. He continues hugging that low groove in the Marcy's Hair Salon, black 74. Meanwhile, Sean Beam's on the move. Here comes Beam, the Baron Trucking 28. Looks for an opening between 2 automobiles. Denies the opportunity of taking it. Goes to the low side. Follows Sheeler in there under Griffith's automobile. It's still open between 2 cars. A gap. Beam doesn't have to do it though. He stays to the low side on Griffith, still battling for a second. This time around, 2 laps to go from starter Ron Brunt, and it's still Rick Sheeler with the point position. Beam looks for racing room, dives to the low side. The Bullet makes the move down under near the grass, and the Bullet Beam comes up right the Sheeler's automobile. They're fender to fender, side by side. They can reach out and shake hands with each other. Going through turn 3 and 4. Oh, race fans, look at this one. The white flag out, 1 lap remaining. Beam's right there, but Sheeler comes back up on him. It's Ford versus Chevy in the turns 1 and 2. Ford to the low side, Chevy to the high side. Beam may have the handle out of turn 2, breaks some daylight. But Sheeler's right there, doesn't want to give him it easy. Sheeler tries the low side on Beam. Beam closes the door. It says no sail, Rick. Out of turn 4, it's going to be Sean the Bullet Beam over Rick Sheeler, followed by Mark Griffith. And Larry Lee Heminger coming up in 4th. Rounding out the top 5 is Tim Stump. In this KFC 35-lap feature for the Gatling's late models. And as you see them line up in the first 6 rows is how the luck of the draw has determined their positioning. Here we go. Looking for 35 very high-intensity laps. The KFC 35, the green's out, and we're up to speed and racing with the Gatling's late models. Oh, no, look at it, turn 1! right here on the front straight. Kessler's car, he's out of the automobile and okay. His car getting crossed. The worst recipient of this situation is Chuck Kennedy's 24. He had nowhere to go, T-boned the 91 of Chuck Kessler, and it brings on an immediate yellow. Lights around, we're getting ready for the restart. Oh, easy guys, out of turn 4. Audi with the pace, jumps on it, and we're up to green and racing. Into 1 and 2, Barry Audi holds on to point position. Everybody getting through the old dry material very nimbly. Down the back straightaway, Cragen trying to make a move to the low side of Danny White's automobile. White to the high side of Bobby Henry. We continue on to turns 3 and 4. On the front straightaway into turns 1 and 2, it continues to be Audi, followed by Gary Gelner, Rick Boyer in the 30, Bobby Henry, and look at the 19 of Rick Miller. Miller moving up through this field. Now Miller dives under the 42 of Cragen. Rick Miller in the Jim Nolan's Chevrolet Camaro body. A1 Engineers traffic car is on the move. Cragen, meanwhile, looks to the high side in this event. They're trying to get around this 77 of Bobby Henry. Down the back straightaway, they continue this torrid battle for the top 5 positions. Gary Gelner with his hands full, running in the second place spot. Finds a mirror full of 2 yellow automobiles. A 77 of Henry and a 30 of Rick Boyer. Boyer now working that outside with Henry to the low line. Cragen right there, ready to strike. They work in lap 3. It continues to be Audi. And look at this battle for second out of turn 4. Working into 1 and 2. Gelner continues holding on to it, but he has people crowding all over his back bumper down the back straightaway. Henry dives to the low side. Gelner holds him off. The 30 of Boyer up high, gets loose. Here comes Cragen through. And look at that, Audi off the pace. What a battle we have fought for the lead now. Barry Audi drops dead out of turn 4 and the power into the hood of that car. That car is just dead, and now we have got a battle for the lead. And it's a good one. On lap 5, Audi's car does not respond, and he's stopped on a racing surface. Oh my, Cheddar's. Here we go, it's up to Bobby Henry. Let's see what he does. At Cragen right there trying for number 4, and Henry trying to get back in victory lane after a year hiatus from it. Out of turn 4, green comes out, we're up to speed and racing. Into turns 1 and 2, Henry pulls away, slides up high a bit by a car length. He's away from the 42 of Cragen. Watch this battle for 3rd place position as Gelner hangs on to it, and Rick Miller will be watching that automobile as he begins to pressure Gelner to the high side. Down the front straightaway, Bobby Henry holds on to a charging Charlie Cragen right there. Cragen tries the low line. Oh, look at this door knocking in a battle for 3rd. Now Cragen dives to the low side of Henry. Henry denies him the opportunity. They work out of turn 4. Henry, with a lot of pressure behind him, continues holding on to the lead. Now Bob Sibla begins to make his move. Trying the low side of Danny White's automobile. Bob Sibla trying to move up into a top 5 position. Look at Rick Miller, meanwhile, as Cragen tries the low side. Henry again cannot do it. Here comes Rick Miller, the Jim Dolan Chevrolet Camaro body machine, working the outside of 22 at Gelner in a battle for 3rd, and Miller finds himself running into 3rd place position. Henry up high now, exiting out of turn 2. Cragen right there working a low line on him, but Cragen with plenty of time does not put the pressure on this lap. Henry working that middle groove, hold on to the lead. Into turns 1 and 2. Cragen will now have to make a move early, and he tries it out of turn 2 because Miller will try to close in on this battle. Now the battle for the lead into turn 3 and 4, and Henry denies the opportunity to Cragen. Cragen trying to open the door, but Henry doesn't give it to him. An outstanding job. Bobby Henry up to it. In the Brooks Oldsmobile, Ed Nicholson is on lumber. Hodge Transmission 77 continues to hold on to the lead over charging Charlie Cragen. Bobby Henry now slides up in the middle of the turn. Cragen tries to take advantage of it. Here comes Rick Miller. Miller begins to close in on this battle. On the back straight, it continues to be Henry. They work into turns 3 and 4, and Rick Miller begins to reel in the 2 lead automobiles. Rick Miller, a house on fire, trying to close in on this struggle for the lead. The 30 of Rick Boyer has moved up to the 4th place position. Bob Sibla up to 5th. Henry continues to hang on to it on lap 12. Sergeant Charlie Cragen, with the exception of McCarran's win, has owned this speedway this season. But Bobby Henry is trying to hold him off and deny him the opportunity and make it work for him. That car is pushing into turns, keeps fading, but he's got the horsepower off the turns, and he holds Cragen off yet another lap. It is KFC 35-lap feature for the Gatling's late models. Now out of turn 4, Cragen tries the low line once again. Cannot make the move. Henry holds onto it, and Rick Miller begins to close in. Henry fades up high again. Cragen tries the low line, cannot do it. Bobby Henry with a masterful drive, an ill-handling automobile holding off Cragen in this feature event. They work into turns 1 and 2. Here comes Rick Miller, race fans. Henry has to be careful he doesn't make that car miscue in any way, shape, or form, because Cragen will take advantage of it. Henry continues with that lead position. They work into turns 1 and 2. And here comes Miller. And now Hewitt-powered automobile gets squirrely momentarily. Now he collects it up again. Meanwhile, look at Cibola. He begins to close in on the 4th place running Rick Boyer. Now up high goes Henry. Here comes Cragen once again. Miller trying to close in. Bobby Henry hanging on for dear life out of turn 2. Closing the door on Cragen. Cragen not able to make the move. And now Cragen will be caught between trying to get around Henry and hold off the likes of Rick Miller as Miller begins to close in on this battle. Into turns 1 and 2. Henry way up high, but Cragen can't take advantage of it. Down the back straightaway. It's a full moon out tonight, race fans. A full moon in this battle for the lead. And Rick Miller begins to close up on this supreme struggle for the top 2 position. Bobby Henry is beginning to look stronger rather than weaker. He's found a groove that's working for him. 19 laps down, still plenty of time in this event. Cragen gets into the dirt. And a little bit squirrely has to hold off the pressure momentarily. They'll be coming up on lap automobiles. Look at Bob Cibola, race fans. Cibola trying to battle for the 4th place position out of turn 2 down the back straight. Bob Cibola in a Martinelli Service 63 trying to make the move on Boyer. He cannot do it. Meanwhile, Rick Miller is in striking distance on these top 2 automobiles, but he can't seem to close those last couple car lanes. Henry fades up high. Cragen right there. Bobby Henry will have a real problem in trying to get around lap traffic with Cragen right there. Sergeant Charlie Cragen trying to low line. Henry holds him off once again. What an outstanding job this Connersville, Pennsylvania pilot has done. Sergeant Charlie Cragen with 3 wins so far this season cannot make the move on Bobby Henry, who's had a superlative effort in holding off Cragen in this event. It has been like this since lap 10. They're getting around the outside of Marion Reno's automobile cleanly. And getting around there gives Henry some breathing room of a half a car length. Now Cragen begins to come up on him once again. They're side by side in front straight. And Henry holds him off, working into turns 1 and 2. Rick Miller cannot seem to join this battle. Meanwhile, Bob Cibola pressures the 30 of Rick Boyer. But all attention is focused in turn 3. Bobby Henry trying to pull off the first win. Snooky Williams comes into the pits. Snooky Williams comes into the pits. Danny White off the pace in the 23. He will come into the pits. Oh, watch this battle down the back straight. Lonnie Vaughn. Here comes Vaughn, goes to the outside. That gives room for Henry and Cragen to charge through in this battle for the lead. 10 laps remaining as Bobby Henry desperately trying to hang on for a win. Down the back straightaway, they'll be coming up on Bob Smith's 44. Bobby Henry continues to hold on to it. Charlie Cragen desperately trying to low side. He's been pressuring the inside of this racing service on Bobby Henry all race long. Oh, look at this. Cragen almost having a miscue with the 44 Smith. Smith wisely pulls up high and gives the 40. Oh, Smith comes off the pace momentarily. We continue green flag racing. It's all Bobby Henry on the point. Charlie Cragen right there. Now Smith picks up the pace. Cragen really begins to pressure the back bumper of Bobby Henry. Down the back straightaway on lap 28. Off the pace, Bob Smith having problems in the engine compartment of that automobile. Now Gilder dropping off the pace, and it continues to be Henry with the lead. Charging Charlie Cragen, looking for racing room on Bobby Henry. Dives down into the dirt. Cragen momentarily off the racing surface. He cannot make the move. Bobby Henry once again up for the task. They go to the high side of Smith's automobile. Rick Miller begins to join in this time around. As 5 laps remain, Rick Miller begins to close the gap. It's Bobby Henry holding on to it. Cragen looking to the low side. Cragen with a daring low side move. Henry slams the door on him. Oh no! Oh my goodness! All by himself, Bobby Henry with an opportunity. And the car just let go as he tried to close the door. And maybe just going in 1 inch into that turn harder than before. Just a long, lonely walk for Bobby Henry back to his stall. Mechanical failures. We get ready for the green. 5 laps remaining. Watch it, race fans. And the battle begins. Rick Miller washing out the middle turn. It's all Charlie Cragen. Look at Cibola. Cibola shot out of a cannon. And Bob Cibola's come alive in a Martinelli Service 63. Will he close in on Rick Miller in these last few laps? Oh, now Miller's found the handle, begins to close on Cragen once again. The Kentucky Fried Chicken 35-lap feature for the Gatlings late model in the NASCAR Winston Racing Series, full moon and all, down the front straightaway. Out of turn 2, Cragen continues holding on to the lead. In the turns 3 and 4, Rick Miller right there, Bob Cibola closing up. This time around, 2 laps remaining. Charlie Cragen, Rick Miller, both cars look like they may have the tires going away just a little bit. Cragen with control of the event though. Miller begins to close on him. This time around the white flag, 1 lap remaining. In the turns 1 and 2, it's Cragen by 2 car lengths over Rick Miller. Down the back straightaway, Cragen dirt tracks the automobile, but he hangs on to it. This time around through turns 3 and 4, the charging one coming around. Here comes Miller. He begins to close, but it's a little too late. It's Cragen, win number 4. The 19 of Miller comes in second, followed by an impressive run for Bob Cibola. 4th place, an outstanding ride for Rick Boyle. For Charleston, Pennsylvania. Cragen is off to a rabbit shot season in the NASCAR Winston Racing Series Northeast region, leading the region coming into tonight's activities. When he gets out of the car, we'll give him a nice round of applause. The personal 43-year-old pilot from Hopewell. He can hear you now. A nice round of applause for the charging one, Charlie Cragen. Cragen with a 92 Port City chassis car, 92 Lumina body, Drame racing engine powering that automobile, being congratulated by Chip Rowan of Motordrome Speedway. Scaling Clinic, Casa Fire Equipment, Twin County Chevrolet dealers, part of the major efforts for Cragen in the 92 season. Also Cooney Cole, Precious Metals, Valley Beverage, The Long Barn, Shop and Save, Frank's Used Cars, Sickens Onzo Finish, and Willie Cameron, all part of that effort. Presenting the beautiful Kentucky Fried Chicken trophy to Charlie Cragen is Ken Paparella in Victory Lane. Also joining in is Carrie Ritchie, Miss Motordrome Speedway 1992. And Joe Rolick have an opportunity to get Charlie's impressions. 4 wins right out of the box. The only other win belonging to Jerry McCara in the 92 season at Motordrome. And this will certainly keep Cragen atop of the point standings in the NASCAR Winston Racing Series. Great run for Rick Miller. And once again, he can hear you now, race fans. How about another nice applause for Bobby Henry and the outstanding effort he did in holding off Cragen. Bobby, obviously dejected, heads back to the trailer. No doubt there'll be better nights for him, and we'll be looking to see him in Victory Lane in Western Pennsylvania 92. A fine run for Bob Cibola, too. Taking a Martinelli service car up to 3rd. What a run for the crew out of West Newton. They've got to be tickled pink with that ride. He will be a force to be reckoned with together for a few more. Captured moments in Victory Lane by Perfect Image, the official track photographers of the Motordrome Speedway, and Joe Rolick momentarily waiting to talk to the charging one in Victory Lane and get his impressions of that event. You'd have to wonder if he would have got Henry or not. It looked early in the race that he might have forced Henry to wear his tires up, but Bobby wasn't intimidated. He really held that groove. Cragen tried everything, and then of course the Panhard bar, that's a piece that holds the rear axle together, brakes, and Cragen finds himself in Victory Lane. Joe?
Trying to find him, Mike. Charlie. You win 4 races, you don't want to talk to me anymore, huh?
Oh, yeah, I want to talk to you.
Okay, everybody wants to know, could you have got Bobby if you didn't have the bad luck?
I really don't know. I was trying hard as I could there when I couldn't get him, and I thought maybe if he'd have goofed up, I might have, but if he didn't, I don't know. My car started to push, and he had to push too. So it's been a good race.
Last time we raced 2 weeks ago, you were chasing McCara, about the same here. You had a problem, you only had a little bit of air left in the tire at the end of the race. It just seems that it turned around for you tonight. Sometimes you get the bear, sometimes the bear gets you.
Yeah, it tightened up this time, but it still worked out all right. You know, it wasn't too bad.
Charlie, when you ran a dirt circuit, you were very fast and a kind of a car to beat down here in Jennerstown. Have you ever got off to such a good start? I mean, 4 out of 5, that's pretty darn good.
I don't really remember getting off this good a start before, you know, but I don't think.
Okay, Charlie Cragen.
Thank you, Joe. Pepsi Pro Stocks over the Ford City chassis car. And beside him, a longtime street stock campaigner and Pepsi Pro Stocks KFC 35 lap feature event. It's up to the 11 of Vasco. Here we go out of turn 4. What will happen? Green comes up. We're up to speed, and oh my goodness, it's a traffic jam going into turns 1 and 2. Keep your eyes on this one, race fans. Oh my, will the dam break? It does to the high side, and Shawless moves through into the lead. He brings Jeff Dunbar right with him, and Bradley Cole, what a move he makes coming up to 3rd. Costa finds himself running 4th. Kelly Shawless on the point position, the 70 of Dunbar right there, pressuring for the lead. Dunbar wastes no time in the VJ's Express, but Shawless denies him the opportunity. On the front straightaway, and look at the talent pressuring Kelly Shawless' automobile. Jeff Dunbar, Bradley Cole now glued to the back bumper of Dunbar. Dunbar knows he's knocking, so he decides to make his move on Shawless. Backs to the low side, Shawless hangs tight. Look at Kelly Shawless hanging on the outside groove, but Jeff Dunbar breaks through, and he brings Bradley Cole right with him. Down the back straightaway, 5 automobiles hooked up in a torrid battle for the lead. Bob Costle, the next, oh, Shawless, oh no! An overcorrecting job. Kelly Shawless got the car loose, then tried to straighten it up, and it faded to the wall. The Somerset, Pennsylvania welder tramps on the throttle. We're greening. He doesn't. Look at Cole glued to his back bumper. Can put an autograph there. Here we go. Green's on. Into turns 1 and 2. No! Easy. Oh no, we're still not done. Ooh, my Larry Bahana. Wow, are we going to have an interesting race fans? 2 of the most talented young drivers in Western Pennsylvania, albeit dirt or asphalt, open wheel or full body cars, have just spun. Trying. Here we go. Green's out. It's up to Castle now, the Commandus Orchestra horsepower. And we're racing. Into turns 1 and 2. Great battle for 3rd as Skip Pat tries to work around the 11 of Vasco. Now watch the 07 of Jeff Dunbar. He dives to the low side in this event. With the 68 of Coles, they try to get, oh, look at this battle with this field coming down the front straightaway. Meanwhile, Bob Arsenberger is pressuring the 60 machine. I should say the 50 console, but, oh no! Oh, that, oh my, 3 wide in the middle of the pack. Cole getting the worst of it. His car hitting the outside retaining wall. And I do believe that was a tire exploding. That was a tire exploding that we heard that. On the point, Bob, Sprout Costello 3rd. Lights are out. We get ready to go green flag race. We're up to speed, and here we go. Costello holds on to the point position, gets himself in a distant position over the morning to Bob Arsenberger. Here comes Danny Wingert and that Hanley chassis 49 Ford Thunderbird. Jeff Dunbar moving up through the field. Jeff Dunbar, man on the move, battles for a top 5 position. Watch him go to the low side in the 11th of Greg Vasco. And Dunbar finds himself running 4th. Well, we'll be watching Jeff Dunbar to see with the time, with a stopwatch to see if he's closing the gap on the lead automobile. That is Bob Kossel. Kossel in the 50 is 4.15 seconds ahead of Jeff Dunbar. As we exit out of turn 2, Dunbar closing a gap on Kossel. 4.03 seconds. Jeff Dunbar is definitely reeling in your lead automobile, Bob Kossel. And he's doing it by about 0.3 of a second a lap. In fact, Jeff Dunbar now has gotten by Wingard into 3rd place position. And you can visually see that the VJ's Express, powder blue and white 07, is fast closing up on the 26 automobile of Bob Arsenberger. Well, Jeff Dunbar by lap 9 has moved already up to the 3rd place position. And finds himself fast closing in on the Arsenberger Trucking 26. Here comes Dunbar. He looks to the outside of Bob Arsenberger. Now he dives a little, and what a setup! Look at Dunbar, sets up Arsenberger, goes right by him. An incredible run for the welder from Somerset County. Sets his sights now on Bob Sprott Kossel. We'll get a time on that gap again, see just how fast, if he is closing it at this point in the event. 11 laps down, plenty of time in this race. 3.5 seconds is the gap between Kossel and Dunbar. Continues to be Bob Sprott Kossel III in that beautiful Oldsmobile body Port City chassis car out of their shops. Kossel Racing Center in Connellsville. Getting the time, the last time I got it was 3.75 seconds. Now it's down to 2.96 seconds. So Bob Kossel finds Dunbar's machine reeling in to close up that gap on lap 13. No doubt Dunbar will have time to challenge for the lead. 2.8 seconds is the distance. Dunbar, when I first timed it, it was 4.5 seconds. And he has brought it down in 2nd place position. By now, the time factor between the two automobiles is 2.3 seconds. And you no longer lead the stopwatch. You can visually see him closing in. At this point in the event, Kossel will find himself coming up on heavy lap traffic. Look at Bahana trying to low line. Almost gets out of, he's still, what a job he did of hanging on. No, look out! Oh, no! And that field tightens up in 3 and 4. Kossel on the point. Green comes out, we're up to speed and racing, and Kossel gets a good jump on Dunbar. Look at this, restart. Dunbar caught sleeping in the VJ's Express 07. Jeff Dunbar was caught sleeping. Let's see if he can turn up the wick and close in. Out of turn 4, good battle up through the field comes Skip Pat into 70. Skip Pat, the shady side of high driver, goes to the outside of 11 of Greg Vasco. Meanwhile, in this struggle for the lead position, Jeff Dunbar is finally beginning to close it once again. Into turns 1 and 2, Dunbar begins to close right up. Also holding onto it down the back straightaway. Jeff Dunbar is checking distance as we work lap 17 of this KFC 35-lap event for the Pepsi Pro Stocks. Here we go down the front straightaway. Dunbar now dives to the low side on Kossel. Kossel sees his automobile right there. Challenge for the lead. Bob Kossel trying to get his first win in the season, closes the door on Dunbar. Dunbar still tries to streak on the low side down the front straightaway. Bob Kossel holds on to it. They're coming up on lap traffic. Oh, we have a yellow. And it's Ford. Give Pat's automobile in turn 3. Caught sleeping on that for the restart. Bob Kossel on the point. Will he try to outfox Jeff Dunbar once again? Dunbar right there. There he goes. He's able to out-drag him. Green comes out. We're up to speed in racing. Bob Kossel holds on to the point, and Dunbar in the VJ's Express. 07 continues to try to close in. The Bruning Brothers, Pennzoil, 07 right there, closing up to the Kossel Racing Center's Oldsmobile. Of Scott Kossel on the back straight. They dive into turns 3 and 4. Dunbar looking for racing room. He's been grooming the low side on Kossel. Dirt tracks the car. Here we go down the front straight. Bob Kossel desperately hanging on for all it's worth. Dunbar now backs off a car length and a half. Look at this in this battle for third. Gary Wiltrout has found the handle, begins the challenge of 49 of Denny Wingard. And Wiltrout dives to the low side on Wingard's automobile. Gary Wiltrout finding the handle. Meanwhile, Dunbar continues to pressure for the lead out of turn 2. On the back straightaway, he looks to the outside of this racing surface on Bob Kossel's car. They dive through 3 and 4. Now Dunbar sets up to the low line. He stays behind him. Dunbar looking to the low line. Lap traffic in the way of the lead automobiles. And it's able to breathe life into Kossel for another lap as Larry Bahana provides a single file groove for Kossel to hold off Dunbar's efforts. Dunbar tries low again. They work into turns 1 and 2. Jeff Dunbar, a superlative effort to the low side of the speedway. But Bob Sprout Kossel III is not to be denied the opportunity. Doing a beautiful job of holding him off. They go around the left automobile of Greg Vasco. Into turns 1 and 2. Kossel continues with the lead. Dunbar still looking for racing room around that automobile. 2 Port City chassis cars, one an Oldsmobile, the other a Z34 Lumina. And that car is Dunbar's as he continues to try the low side on Kossel's automobile. On the back straight, Jeff Dunbar still looking for a racing room. Oh my goodness, look at the lap traffic and it opens up just, oh, what are we gonna do? Dunbar gets, stymied. My goodness. Jeff Dunbar finds that he has to recollect himself up. Now, does Jeff Dunbar have it in the effort to close in and make a challenge? 9 laps remaining, and Dunbar with the miscue, getting caught behind Bahana. Jeff Dunbar begins to close up on Bob Kossel. Can he do it, race fans? Or will Sprout Kossel hang on to it? Out of turn 4, this time around, lap 28. And Gary Wiltrout drops off the pace. Attrition taking its toll. Only 4 cars left on the racing surface. Imagine this, the 5th place finisher will see his checkered in the pits. Lap 29, only 6 laps remaining for Kossel. Bob wisely making a low side move on the lap traffic of Larry Bahana, who since left the racing service. Dunbar tried high, thought he could squeeze between the wall and Bahana, but couldn't make the move. And now Dunbar's really beginning to pressure Kossel. Race fans, who's it gonna be? Kossel for a first win? Or will Dunbar pick up his 2nd win of the year? He's been shut out by Bradley Cole since opening day, 3 races in a row. Meanwhile, Bob Kossel's, yes, the taste, the honey of victory lane. Lap 31, Dunbar tries the low side. Kossel denies it to him. I feel a photo finish coming up, race fans. They're going to the outside in turn 3 of the Cloud 9 Charlie Myers machine. Myers in his first effort in the 92 season. And Motordrome off the pace. There are 3 laps remaining, and Jeff Dummer desperately trying to make a move. Costle's car squirrely. Brings it back online. Here comes Dummer right up to his back bumper. Dummer setting up for the outside in turns 3 and 4. Out of turn 4, Dummer checks the car. 2 laps remaining, race fans. We go into turns 1 and 2. Jeff Dummer tries a high side. Now he dives down low. Costle hanging on to it. Down the back straightaway. Bob Sprott Costle III desperately trying to pull off his first win of the 92 season. Jeff Dummer says, I got one more opportunity. The white flag, 1 lap remaining. They dive into turns 1 and 2. Dummer looks to the high side of Costle. Costle right there. Costle goes up high. Dummer dives down low. We're side by side, wheel to wheel. Dummer trying to squeak in. Oh no! Look out! Dummer spins and Costle will win. Woo! My, oh my, what a race to the finish. Jeff Dummer running out of racing on to the lead. And denied Dunmar the opportunity in that torrid last lap battle. Bob out of Connellsville, Pennsylvania. When he gets out of the car, give him a round of applause. The car owned by his father, Bob, at 92 Olds Cutlass, new Port City chassis with a 350 cubic inch Pace Setter racing engine. Under the hood, Costle Racing Center, Bob Bongill Car Care, and Snap-on Tools, part of the effort for Bob. He can hear now. Nice round of applause for Bob Sprott Costle III. Bob being congratulated by Chip Rowan and Ken Pepperelli, presenting the KFC trophy to Bob in Victory Lane. This Pepsi Pro Stock 35 lap feature event.
Jason and Charlotte. Are they here? Jason and Charlotte. Going once, going twice.
Hey, how about a nice round of applause for Jeff Dummer? A superlative effort he made coming through the back of the pack to make it an interesting race. Great job by him, just coming short with a quarter lap remaining. Bob Sprott Costle, not to be intimidated, finds his way into Victory Lane.
Bob Costle, Bob. Survival of the fittest out there tonight, huh?
Yeah, it was Jeff made me earn that, and plus it's my old car, and that even makes it worse.
I seen last week you had Kenny Schrader trapped in a trailer there with Chuck Kessler. I heard you guys telling driving stories back and forth. Anything he tell you help you?
No, that was all on my own there. I had my hands full.
I want to know, do you have a piece of tape on the steering wheel?
No.
A race like that where there's so many cautions, took so long to finish. How do you keep your mind running, especially to run as hard as Jeff ran you there at the end? Does it make it that much more of a strain?
Yeah, you just try to forget that blue car's backer because he was a little bit faster than we were. We were loose, but I was in the groove and I stayed there. But you just got to forget he's back there.
Bob Costle, congratulations, Bob.
Ellen Jalicchio. 05 is James Danny Byrne. Well, that's 95, but that's Bairn. The 4 is Jim Petrie, 33, John Komarinsky, and the former Gary Wilchot ride now being campaigned by Bill Schneider in his rookie season on the pavement. 21, Tom Penzera to join up that Ford Torino in this field. 20 laps of distance. Bennick's old pace car has the field tightened up. Here we we go. Field tightens up out of turn 4. Green comes out. We're up to Speed and Racing. Into turns 1 and 2. J-Ho-A Jr. with the lead. Look at these cars scattering 3 wide. Oh no! Look out! A tremendous crash on the back straight. 3 wide, no racing room left. Chuck getting the worst of it. Hits the wall. The car goes through the air. Does a somersault in the air. And we have an immediate yellow flag situation. Chuck with heavy contact and that outside retaining wall. And they're calling for medical help for Rick Chalk with an extremely hard hit over there. Winner in victory lane tonight. Brian Audie has a chance to repeat. He's in the rows number 75. Here we go, though. It's up to J.O. Hay Jr. Out of turn 4. Go, we're 3 wide. I don't think we're going to get a green. Oh, now, do we avoid an incident? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. 50 seconds, and now we're getting ready to restart this event. It's up to Hay on the point. Dietrich beside him. Green comes out. We're up to Speed and Racing. Down the back straightaway. Hay on the point position, and look at Marty Edwards move into second. Edwards in the Overbrook Tavern, 57. Thank God they're done behind the grandstands, and we are still racing. Into third goes Ron Kroll. Side by side, it's Brian Audie and Dietrich has fallen back through the pack, now to 5th. Hay continues on the point position. Here comes the 24 Ron Kroll. Shot out of a cannon, a State College, Pennsylvania bullet on the move. The Valley truck and trailer, 25, works to the low side, and Edwards crossed up, hangs on to it. In second down the back straight. Here he comes. Coral moves to the low side and finds himself running in the second place position. Continues to be Hay, followed by Coral in second. Edwards running third. Brian Audie is in fourth. Working into turns 1 and 2, Audie and the Ron Beckner log in rows number 75 looks to the low side of the Stony's Light, 57. And we've got a battle for the lead. Here comes Cole. He moves into the point position on lap 3. Ron Coral takes over the lead, fades up high out of the turn 2. Hang on to it, Ron. Almost into the loose marbles near the outside retaining wall. Ron Coral continues in this event. Ron Coral sliding up high. I don't think Coral's ever had a career win on the asphalt. I've never had him listed as a win. This may be a career first win for Ron Coral if he can hang on to it. Now, Audie. Brian Audie begins to look to the low side of Hay in a battle for second. A battle for the second place position. Here comes Audie down to the low side in a battle for second place position. On lap 7, side by side, wheel to wheel, Audie and Hay, they work for the bridesmaid spot, and Audie moves in to the second place position. On the back straight, Ron Coral looking for career first win. Continues holding on to the point position. And the 75 Rose Lumber machine of Brian Audie begins to try to close on Coral's automobile. A 24-year-old mechanic from State College, Pennsylvania, Ron Coral. And the 1984 Monte Carlo SS continues holding on to the point position, but here comes Brian Audie. Audie trying to grab win number 2. A rookie in this division, a graduate from the Pure Stock class, and a point champion in that class, both here and at Jennerstown last season. Running in second place position, and Coral goes up high. Here comes Audie. Coral setting up for the high side on Schneider's Caddyshack number 10 machine. Audi looks at him. Oh no, Coral caught up in lap traffic. Brian Audi finds a way to get through and 3 wide on the front straight. Ron Coral, not to be denied, comes right back up on him, race fans. Unbelievable racing in about a foot of lead. And look at Coral, race fans. He says, how about that one, Audi? He comes right back up to the point position. Ron Coleman, now Audi says, no you don't. I'm coming by on the front straight. Ron Coral right there. We got ourselves a horse race. Oh, the whiskers rubbing there. Down the back straight, and Audi comes right back up on him. Now Coral says, no way. They leapfrog for the lead battle. Lap after lap, the Stoney's Light Street Stocks doing it on the pavement at the Drome. On the front straightaway, lap traffic again plays into the favor of Brian. No! Oh, look at this! Oh, 3 wide. Oh, too hard. Look at this. Here it comes. Oh, we got cars all over the place. Oh, no! Oh! Woo! Oh, Edwards! Woo! Oh, man, I'll tell you what. Oh, let's see what happens on the restart. Green's out, we're up to speed and racing. Here comes Komarinsky trying to get out of the pits. No, he's heading back. Into turns 1 and 2, Ron Coral picks up the pace on the restart. Followed by Jay O'Hay, the 29 of Bob Rayleigh making his presence known for you Ford fans, along with that 97 of Jay O'Hay Jr. Now Brian Audi will try desperately to come up through the back of the pack, as well as Marty Edwards. Those 2 cars were in contention, but they're caught in a flock of automobiles on the front straight. Audi to the low side, along with Alan Angelicchio to the back bumper, the 29. Oh, we got a wheel and a bumper off of Jim Petrie's car. It has to be a full moon. How did the bumper come off the car? What did he do, hit the wall? Oh, that's his drive shaft? And Green comes out. We're up to speed and racing. Jay O'Hay Jr., another driver that's never seen victory lane, right there, trying to close in. There are 4 drivers in the top 4 positions that have never won a race before on the pavement, all struggling to try to capture that checker. Bob Rayleigh's one of them. He's diving to the low side of Barry Gary. What an impressive run Gary has going tonight. And now Gary fades up high. Here comes the 29 of Rayleigh, and he's bringing the low side opening for the rows number 75 of Brian Audi and the 57 of Marty Edwards, trying likewise to do it. Well, we have some serious slow lap traffic out there, race fans. Seriously, golf cart speed out there. The Caddyshack number 10 living up to its name as it golf carts its way into the pits. Meanwhile, Ron Coral continues with this lead. The best battle on the track is for third. 16 laps. Wake up, folks. There's only 4 laps remaining for these competitors now. Here we go, into turns 1 and 2. Audi's trying to low line on Rayleigh. Up high is Marty Edwards, may lose the automobile. Hang on to it, Marty, he does. And we continue green flag racing. He was literally dirt tracking that Stoney's Light 57. It's all Ron Coral with 2 laps remaining. Coral in command of this event. Down the back straightaway, looking for a career first feature win on the pavement. The white flag, 1 more lap for Coral. Smooth sailing for the driver from State College. Distancing himself over Jay O'Hay Jr. with just a half a lap to go. Here's this battle for third again on the back straight. Audi continues to struggle to the low side of Bob Rayleigh's machine. Meanwhile, the checker will unfold for Ron Coral. Second will go to Jay O'Hay. Here's the battle for third. It will be Bob Rayleigh holding off Brian Audi in the 57. Oh, Marty Edwards rounding out the top 5 in his KFC 20-lap event for the Stoney's Light Street Stocks. Well, for Ron Coral, a career first win, maybe not on the pavement, but definitely in the street stock division. Truck and trailer, Abramson Auto Salvage, Duck Sheet Metal, and Black Walnut Bodyworks, all part of the efforts of this driver from Central Pennsylvania. Once he gets unstrapped out of the automobile, we'll give a nice round of applause. First time in victory lane at Motordrome, and I believe first time in this division. Last year his best finish was 4 third-place finishes. He can hear you now. Nice round of applause for Ron Coral into victory lane in this KFC 20-lap feature event for the Stoney's Light Street Stocks.
Those of you that were in the karaoke contest, go ahead back now. They're doing the judging.
Thank goodness. The doctor is in. Dr. John Carahellis from Motorsports World with us, taking care of business.
Win number 1, Ron. Congratulations. This is his first career feature, Mike. How's it feel, buddy?
Feels pretty good. I'd like to thank everybody that helped us get us here. All my sponsors, Valley Truck, Aberson's Auto Wrecking, Duck Sheet Metal, guys that helped paint it, Black Walnut, my crew. They're hell of a working people. We do the best we can.
How long have you been racing?
Oh, probably 4 or 5 years. First feature win ever, right here.
Very excited, Ron Coral.
All right, congratulations, Ron. A career first feature win. They've been up in the top 5 so many times, but not quite there, and he's done it tonight, a night he'll remember. From Jennerstown, Pennsylvania. 23 is Courtney Block from Wheeling, West Virginia, former pit crew on Gary Gellner's automobile. Conrad Presnell's in the 17. 91 newcomers Rick Ackerman from Kecksburg, Pennsylvania. In the 78 Bakes Printing Machine, North Star Equipment is Diamond Dave Tragovich. The 45 automobile is Don Blank Sr. And rounding out the field in the back should be the 29 of David Fox, first time out. He will try to make it 5 in a row, 20 cars in the field. 19 that is. Here we go. Green comes out, we're up to speed racing. Look at this, up through the field, and Mark Griffith finds himself in an amusement park ride at the drop of the green. Moves too numerous to call as Bickerstaff goes into the lead. Watch it, race fans, and digest it. Oh, we're 3 wide and 3. Oh, the bullet gets hung up to dry, and Larry Lee makes it through. Courtney Block spinning almost. Judy Shaw is hanging tough in second place position. Jimmy Bickerstaff Jr. continues with the lead down the back straight. Here comes Rick Sheeler. Sheeler down. Oh, look at this. Oh, no, we ain't going to make it, race fans. Yes, we do. They proved me wrong. On the front straightaway, Sean Beam in the middle of this pack and his drive to make it 5 in a row. Up front is Jimmy Bickerstaff Jr. in the Dickey Electric 24, Rick Sheeler, and the Marcy's Hair Salon. 74 begins to close in his back bumper. Here comes the flying sign banner, Dave Brunell. He and Larry Lee Hemminger get together a little bit. Brunell fishtails, but he continues in third place position. Sean Beam has his hands full trying to get around the racing mom, Judy Shawless. Down the back straight, the bullet goes to the high side, but he is having a tough time trying to get up through this field. Meanwhile, it's Chevy Mania up front, race fans, with Monte Carlos proliferating the top 4 positions. The first Ford is running 5th. Oh, Sheeler right there. He and Bickerstaff trading some paint out there in the 74, 24 respectively. Now Sheeler dives to the low side on Bickerstaff. They run wheel to wheel, hub to hub, lug nut to lug nut, fender well to fender well, and Sheeler comes through for the point position. And that opens up the low side for the one of Dave Brunell, the high-tech hobbies machine. He gets through for second on lap 5. Sheeler really dirt tracks the car. Brunel closes in on him, Bickerstaff up high, and now Larry Lee Heminger moves up the position. Oh, Beam gets into the back bumper. The 22, Robin Rimmel. Sean Beam having his share of problems trying to get around. Another Ford out there. Tim Stump gets crossed up in the dirt. We continue green flag racing. Larry Lee way up high, but the 24, Bickerstaff, not able to take advantage of it. It continues to be Sheeler out on the point position with Dave Burnell right there. Now the 28 of Beam moves up to the 5th spot. Oh, look at this on the front. Woo! My, oh my. Dave Burnell with a risky low side move, making it 3 wide with lap traffic, able to hang on to 2nd. And here comes Beam, clean of traffic. He is in 5th place position. My goodness, it's mechanical mayhem up there. Oh my goodness, a lapped automobile shaking, rattling, and rolling of Ackerman. Look at that car shaking down the front straight. Springs Mania. We continue in this battle for the top 5 positions. Sean Beam has closed up on, oh, watch this, race fans, on the back straight. Look, 3 wide, Beam trying to make a move on Bickerstaff. They're battling for 4th. Oh, Beam into the dirt. Boy, you'd think there was a bullseye painted on that Ford tonight. They continue struggling side by side, and Sean Beam trying to move into 4th. Here we go, he does it on lap 9. Beam moves into 4th place position on lap 9. We continue with Rick Sheeler out on the point position into 74. The one of Dave Burnell right there behind him. And a distant 3rd is Larry Lee Heminger. Sean Beam trying to close in on Heminger's automobile. Down the back straightaway it continues to be Sheeler. Oh, look out in turns 1 and 2. Well, George Nicola gets crossed up, and it's a T-bone situation with the 45 of Don Blank Sr. brings out the yellow point. Here we go. It's 3 Chevys. Gonna block out a Ford? We'll see. Could be interesting. Sheeler jumps on early, and that's to the dismay of the cars running behind. And look at Bickerstaff. Jimmy Jr. on the high side, trying to make a move into Dickey's Electric. Now Sean Beam coming up to speed. We are 2 by 2 in 2 rows, and a battle for 2nd through 5th place position. Down the back straightaway now. Larry Lee Heminger breaks into 2nd. He's bringing Sean Beam right with him. Time is running out for Beam. Meanwhile, it's Rick Sheeler out on the point position. Beam moving up to the 3rd place position, sets his sights on Larry Lee Heminger. They dive into turns 1 and 2. Out of turn 2, down the back straightaway. Here comes Sean Beam in a battle for 2nd. Dave Burnell trying to make it 3 wide. Beam fender to fender, wheel to wheel with Larry Lee Heminger, and Beam takes the Ford into 2nd. Race fans, time is running out as Sean Beam sets his effort to the point position. Rick Sheeler hanging on to it. Beam hold on to 2nd. Heminger goes up high. Dave Burnell moves into 3rd. Down into turns 3 and 4. Sean the Bullet Beam trying to reel in the high-flying Rick Sheeler. Sheeler with 2 laps remaining. Dirt tracks the car, smokes the right rear. Beam desperately trying to close in. Time is running out. Will the streak be broken? And Sean Beam, will he be shut out this time? A lap and a half remaining. Sean Beam still not in striking distance. This time he's going to have to turn. Oh, look out on Sheeler. He gets the car squarely. Beam has an opportunity. Rick Sheeler holds on to it. 1 lap remaining. Here they go into 1 and 2. Beam dirt tracks the car down onto the... Oh, man, I'm getting confused here. It's still Sheeler on the point. 3 car lengths. Can Beam make it up? Will Sheeler be the man to hang on to it? Out of 4, it looks like, race fans, it's gonna be, yes, Rick Sheeler over Sean Beam, the one of Dave Burnell, Larry Lee Heminger, and rounding out the top 5 is the 24, Jimmy Bickerstaff. So getting a late start in the 92 season, Rick Sheeler able to come out and find victory lane and break that win streak of Marcy's Hair Salon automobile from Boswell, Pennsylvania. You can hear you now. A nice round of applause for Rick Sheeler. We'll turn it down to Joe Rowlett.
Thanks, Mike.
And this is Mike Nelson bidding everyone a good evening. Have a safe evening, and we'll see you tomorrow at Jennerstown.
night, huh?
Yeah, I guess it took a while
First feature win?
for this year here, yeah.